Hey guys, I'm Jeff, and you're watching Valley Fish, and building the new fish room, and it's kind of come to a standstill right there. And I'm going to kind of explain to you why, and a few tips that nobody ever told me. I watched all kinds of videos about how-tos and, drilling tanks, and nobody ever showed me, so I'm using Schedule 80, which is a lot thicker and a lot heavier duty, or PVC, than Schedule 40, which is what almost everybody else did. And what I'm finding is some of my sticks have like a bow to them. Not a lot, not even really recognizable to the naked eye. But when you start going 4 foot to 4 foot between tanks, roughly, whatever it is, 3 foot, maybe, I don't know, never measured. I have measured actually 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, and still getting it within the 1/8 of an inch, and everything's crooked. But I ended up buying a heat gun, and it made my life so simple. And I'm about hours and hours into it, about halfway, and I figured it out. And just kind of want to show you how pretty much necessary it is. So I labeled it Fishroom Tour. We'll walk around, look at some tanks, and I'll show you where I'm at. But I was kind of getting frustrated because nothing was lining up, and I was putting a whole bunch of stress on my bulkheads and didn't really know quite how to go. But I got it figured out, and kind of going to spark that, and we're going to get this knocked out. So thanks for watching, and just kind of show you what I'm doing. So what I wanted to show you is, so this is a pipe I've been fighting, and I actually glued it and ripped it out before it dried. But if you see how much lean I had to put into that. Now, it only took the heat gun maybe a minute. And I think it said like 275 for Schedule 80 would bend. I actually had to turn it up 100 degrees at a time. And you can see it's off quite a bit, and it goes clear up to there. This piece was way off by like 4 inches. It wasn't gonna work, so I was pretty frustrated. And when you'd stand back here, you could see the pipe had a kick to it, and it wasn't gonna work at all. So took the heat gun, I turned it up to 275. Took forever. Nothing. I went to 300, 400, 500, 600, about a minute of heating. And then it just sounded like glass, and it went kink. And pretty much came real flexible. And then I just kind of held it where I wanted till it cooled down. And then I was thinking, you know what? This piece of PVC here used to have a really horrible kink in it, because it was way too close to the tank. So again, I just heated this one up for like a minute. I hope you can see that. Again, same thing. 600 degrees, heated it up, and then all of a sudden it was just real pliable, and again sounded like glass. But if you can see, it actually slopes back to the T, which I want, and it made it really nice. I don't know where the camera is on this one. If you can see, let's see. If you can see how far like the second tank is. I'm gonna try and point. Somewhere right back here is the edge of the second drain, and it's probably what, a 1/4 inch out further this way, and it needs to come back. So I think all these drains, because I don't want the crooked, I have Plecos on them, but I don't want a lot of stress on these joints because I don't want them to crack. So I'm probably going to go through and heat each one of these up and just let it go wherever it goes. And if the tank ever leaks, sorry for the finger, if the tank ever leaks when I make the replacement, because I have a piece of plywood I saved to keep the same consistency, the next tank will just fall in suit really nice. But I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that. I've watched hours and hours and hours of people building their fish rooms and talking about it. I actually bought this at my local Ace Hardware. It was a higher end one of the two. And this one is the temperature control instead of high or low. It actually gives you to the like 100 to 1100 degree set point. I think it was like 50 bucks, and I've only used it for 2 minutes, and out of the stress that I was feeling because everything was off and making all kinds of weird noises, I thought I was breaking my tank, so I was trying to put it together. It's well worth the 50 bucks already. So drilling tanks is stressful. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not, especially when you put all that effort into it and then you worry about breaking them, because I had my PVC cut down, but it's just not everything in the floor and everything is square, which I'm going to show you now. So this is my PVC header. It runs through that wall. I know that's a no-no, but it runs through that wall, temporary power, and this whole header. Now I'm going to put bottom tanks here. I haven't, because I have to access this corner to do some more builds, but everything's run to this bottom drain. Now this painted board's gonna stay as a support, because I got dogs and cats and everything that wants to climb where they shouldn't be, because I just had one climb under my 75 today. Yeah, 40-pound husky climbing under 75, you can imagine. And I'm gonna put another one of them blocks somewhere in here. But I had everything really nice and square, like nice and square. And if you go up, everything's nice and square and straight and straight and straight. Well, what I did here is was in a rush to fill them tanks. I wanted this valve and I wanted to isolate it so I could fill everything to the left. Well, what that caused for problems is because this isn't square now. And see, I had to like 45 everything back, because I did all the drains on the left side on the right tanks and on the right side on the left tanks. And that's pretty much the way I did this whole rack, and I really like it. On this note, look at that nuclear green water. I'm thinking about learning how to do a Daphne culture, because it's been that way for months and months. Fish are great, gets weekly 50% water change, but it's green. When I do water change, it lightens up a little bit and then goes back to nuclear green. So does this one, but I fight this one better because I can siphon the 75 into this tank. But I thought it'd be cool if I had Daphne. So I'm thinking about that. But anyways, so this rack, I'm trying to back out. Oh, not gonna let me back out. Stupid smartphone. Anyways, I got it down. I'm really happy about that. It was super simple. Took like a minute of heating it. Kind of just worked around the pipe, you know. And then all of a sudden it sounded like glass broke, and it was really flexible. And just basically held it where I wanted till it cooled down. So I got 2 more I gotta make. And then pretty much 4 more I gotta make across the bottom. But that'll be really, really nice. This one's got fresh silicone applied around the bulkhead. You don't need to do it. They don't encourage it. I do it because I like to. And this sand here, pretty nice. It's actually the same one that's up here. It's got a good color to it. It's really fine. It was actually this bag over here, which is Paver Sand. Can't remember which box store I got it from, but it looks really good. I wanted a really light sand, kind of like this. But the sand that I bought that was the exact same brand and manufacturer is way bigger granulates, and I don't like it as much. I'm hoping during the summer season they have what they call fine sand, but it's just out of stock right now. So, what else is new? If you made it this far, these are about 20 Panda Fry that I pulled, and they're just pretty happy. What's cool? Not cool. What's not cool is so, I'm gonna back up and give you the long version view. So this is my fish room in the making. I have one register here, and then it's kind of an L. This is my main couch and my NASCAR and football TV. I got 2 registers here. So out of the 3, and there's a staircase that rounds up, and then the Ford garage and laundry room behind this wall. But this one basically keeps the air fresh in here, right? Because you don't want stagnant. But what it does is it constantly blows against that back wall. I put that deflector on there because I wanted it in the winter. It was really cold against that back wall, and I was like, well, I'm going to heat it up. Well, these 2 tanks had a water change at the same day. And you can see just by how much the water blows across the top of that against the back wall, evaporation. So this winter when we kick the AC on, I'll probably pull that deflector off, and I might just regulate it down to like 20% open, because you want fresh air in here and you don't want it to get stagnant. And then in one of these corners, I think this one, I'm gonna put a dehumidifier, but I don't know, this is more of that Paver Sand. I haven't got to fill it. Like I said, I just silicone that one. And I run 1/2 inch Schedule 80 for my overflow. And then I think it's 3mm netting yarn stuff that comes in a big sheet, and I cut it and roll it and I stuff it in the overflow. I was going to do foam and try and save the baby shrimplets that get that high, but it's pretty much they're going to be on their own. That's the way I'm going to do it, is that yarn stuff that makes me not overflow tanks. Been doing it that way for a long time. These are pretty much all set. This is cool. So I'm just getting into pothos, and well, I'm getting into them. This is my 75. And you can see I got them growing in the hang-on back. I got a little jar here that I just need to move to a tank. And this is just a regular kind of pothos. I know all the names. I got them written down in screenshots, but I don't really have it offhand. That's a neon. I know that. That's fucking good. Shut off new leaf the other day. And that's funny when you get into like immersed growing plants and you get new leaf. It's cool because you know, like this one here, new leaf. I actually got 2 new leaves this last week, so, and the roots are growing down, so it's cool. I like it. And then here's another neon, kind of tucked back there. Actually, I had to help one of the leaves make its way up, but they love growing under that T5, I believe it is, 65K. And I'm gonna kind of just let them run the whole top of the tank and kind of weave them up. And then like this one, I got rubber banded on the side. When it makes its way up to the next level, I'll just kind of let it do whatever it wants to do up on these guys. These tanks are a little low. This one is the one that had the red worm, so I only do water changes on certain days when I don't touch anything, and I freeze everything. And then this one's the reds that had the anchor worm, which right now not showing any signs. I keep treating every weekend, and there's algae's horrible on the glass because I don't have a Pleco and I'm not scraping it, and hopefully them reds pull through. But I have more if they don't. Just kind of a bummer. These guys are cool. Kind of a red mosaic grass, whatever pattern they kind of want to throw at the time. Some of them are getting real dark. I don't really like the dark, but they're good. I like them. These are basically the same pattern, but these are gold. And their flaws, sometimes they throw red. So someday when I get a feed tank, I might mix the two just to see what kind of comes up. And then, I don't know, I'm not going to go through everything. We'll make that another video. Another video, we talked about the green water. Fish are great, but green pandas, they're sweet. They got a lot of cool stuff. This tank here, I started with a couple shrimp and some new crips, and did the melding. There's a bunch of little babies, but they're so small we're never gonna find them. This tank here got some new Plecos, which is really cool. Actually some new shrimp. There's one, just gonna show you, they look real good. There's usually a bunch up here, which you can find them. Yeah, they're all over in that plant. That plant, I don't know what it's called. It was sold to me, didn't know, and still no. But then, like I said, up top we got some more pandas. This is actually 2 pair of pandas, and they're always putting on a show. They look real good. They're real dark. They don't have the blue so much, and they kind of have a veil tail, but not the round tail. And that is because a long time ago I mixed in a Moscow, because I lost my panda line, so it's a little different, but they'll look good. Whoop, damn it. The fry actually came from this dark dorsal fin female. She's about ready to drop too, but that's all her babies. So I'm gonna save those babies, and I think we'll do some summer tubbing with them is what I'm thinking. And then I got some Sendonus lucipennis in the same tank, and 2 super reds. Usually the catfish are out. I don't know where they are. They are never this hard to find. Huh. There's one. They're really shy right now. It's late. The light's been on for a long time, but yeah, not much of a show. Usually they're always out scurrying. You see them, they just kind of run back and forth. But not right now, of course. Why? Because you're trying to record them. I don't know. I think that's gonna call it for the video. Well, that's kind of just a small portion of the Fishroom tour. It's a work in progress, and I was getting discouraged because I did these small tens, and the spacing between each tank was, you know, just a few inches, and it wasn't that big a deal. And I kind of remember everything like, you know, you felt like you had to heat up the flex hose, because they go from a barb fitting to a piece of rubber hose and then to the PVC. I was always like, oh, I gotta heat it up really good, and then it flexes right in there. Didn't ever have any problem. These bigger tanks, you get into the same philosophy but a lot longer run, and like a little crooked pipe that you didn't notice becomes like 4 inches off at the top, and it was really frustrating me, and I was really worried about breaking the tanks, just forcing them in. So what I've learned is just greasing them. If they don't go, heat them up, obviously move them close, put the hose in, and then put a little more heat on it, and it'll self-right exactly where it needs to be. And Rain is spying on us making a video, which is way past her bedtime, so she should be disappearing. Goodbye. And I don't know, angelfish are about ready to start breeding. I got slates in the tank of Philippine blues, and there's a few platinums in there, so long term I hope to split them. That's what I got all the 40 breeders for. But shrimps are doing good. I got blue shrimp, which are very low grade right now. That's kind of a guppy project tank. I like that. Those are really high quality reds, so I'm excited about that. And I got another tank of a different line of, I hate this backwards. Got another line of reds back here that are, I'm gonna say lower grade because they have a lot of black, but I'm gonna actually keep that line going towards the red and black. And one, I like them. So if you're not breeding something that you like, you're probably doing it wrong. So I like them. They're called low grade or whatever, or coals, but I'm gonna target that and hopefully make some really pretty fit shrimp. Lights are kicking off, and it's pretty late. I think I covered everything I wanted to do. Maybe for those, I don't think I've ever really talked about it. I have talked about it, but these are actually grow lights that I went with. They're LED and they have like a real pink undertone. So I'm hoping with red plants, red shrimp, they do really well. Getting the hiccups. These are two aquanites up top that are blue, you can tell, but eventually the whole rack over here is going to be grow lights. And these are grow lights too, and they look a lot whiter, but they're T5. So just trialing some stuff. These ones are nice because you can hook 12 4-foot light fixtures all together, and that'll pretty much knock everything out. And then when I get that project done someday, we're gonna do that row. Not sure what tanks are going in or what we're gonna be doing, and by the time we get there, things will change again. And kind of thinking about getting into some platies, which is haven't done that in a decade. So back when I had 3 tanks, I had platies, and I bought them from the box stores and struggled with them. I think it was all internal parasites, but at that time I really didn't have any idea how to treat them. They just kind of wasted away. So definitely gonna be a spark to kind of do that. So gonna keep the guppies like them, but I thought about adding more guppy lines, but I think platies is gonna be fun for a while. Maybe 2 lines. And summer tubbing's coming up, so kind of giving you an idea of what I'm going to do. I think I talked myself into it already, but dogs are barking. It's late. I'm going to kick them in, and I don't know. I'll flip over and I'll show you the fish room and say goodbye. All right, yep, this is it so far. Like I said, all the tanks in the middle are gonna disappear. 10s I might keep. 29s I might do an island of 29s down the middle. That's really all depending on where the hobby kind of leads. If I start into selling and stuff, I might go that route. Otherwise, I just might open it up for the girls. But I really kind of already got the tanks. I only got like 12 brand new 29s that would look real good right down the middle, and that's the same width as that. But who knows? I don't have a whole lot of free time, so what I already got is already stretching me thin. So that's where we are, guys. This is kind of my little zone. It's a cluster at the moment, but this is actually, I never went over this, but those are some of the last year's summer tubbing fish, and they'll probably go right back out. Sweet. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody. Later.